Welcome back, everybody, to Auburn Undercover. Nathan King here with Jason Caldwell at Kroger Field. Auburn takes one, finally. They finally get off the schneid, get the monkey off of their back, and get a much-needed win here. Heading into November 24-10, they take down the Kentucky Wildcats. And Jason, I mean, you hate to boil it down to just one guy, and they did other good things in this game. Jarquez Hunter, they told us post-game it's the fourth best rushing performance in Auburn history, 278 and 2 touchdowns. You and I were looking, he outgained Kentucky by himself by like 50 yards. By 50 yards. We've known, I mean, Jarquez has been around for a long time. We know he's capable of this. Finally, they get one where they can just lean on him, and he obviously did that and then some in this game.
Yeah, and what was interesting was that it wasn't just like they ran over Kentucky with everybody. I mean, Damari Alston had a couple of runs, but I mean, it was Jarquez. He was so patient. They set blocks up great. I thought they called a phenomenal game offensively after that. After being backed up on that first series, it kind of stuck them behind the chains. You get down 10-0, and all of a sudden you go, hey, settle down. And you know what? The defense deserves a lot of credit for keeping. They kept giving the ball back to the offense. They kept giving the ball back, and you saw that the offense was able to settle into the game. Going down and scoring that touchdown, throwing the ball to Keandre Lambert-Smith was a huge part of the game. You have the end of the first half, and you go, uh-oh, here you go again. But they come out in the third quarter, you make a drive, but they didn't panic. Yep. And I thought it was an exceptional answer over and over again, and it started with the run game.
I mean, Free said it after the game. He said, what did he say? That was a great opportunity to just, they could have laid down. Yeah. All the momentum was going Kentucky's way. You texting during the game, like they were getting blown off the ball a little bit. I mean, it was a legitimate adjustment that Auburn had to make. They're down 10-0. Kentucky, I believe, is only 109 yards the rest of the game after they go up 10-0. Like you mentioned, the defensive performance in this one also deserves a lot of credit. They knew they had to force Kentucky to throw the ball. It got to a point where it was so bad in that regard, Brock Vandegrift had to sit. Gavin Wimsatt did some good things, but then it ends with a goal line stand and Kayin Lee getting an interception.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting too. That Kentucky has a drive down the field, and Kayin Lee makes an incredible play undercutting the route. You get an interception to seal the game, and then fittingly Jarquez breaks another big run to kind of end it.
And they could have scored again.
They could have scored again. But I thought it was as fitting a game for this team as it could be, because you had an opportunity to come out and lay down. You had an opportunity to give up a touchdown and have to hold on at the end of the game, and you get a stop and you get a big run. They answered every one of those plays in the second half, and it's exactly opposite of what we've seen this year.
Yeah, so Peyton Thorne starts 5 of 10 in this game with an early interception. Yeah. It was a little shaky. That was Auburn's fourth play of the game. Finishes the game 20 of 26. He was not phenomenal by any means, but made good throws when they needed to happen. And like you said, Jarquez's running ability really just kind of opened things up for the rest of the offense. Jason, I mean, this is a team that still has a lot of work to do to get to a bowl game, but in order to do that, you had to have this one. This felt like a winnable game, and as Hugh Freeze said, and you talked about it afterwards, obviously all the fans here getting to celebrate, but Hugh Freeze said, I mean, just to see the smiles on the players' faces after games,
it's huge.
It's been a tough season for them, and they finally were able to get one.
It's huge. Yeah, I mean, a ton of fans. I mean, it was a phenomenal road crowd to be in Lexington for a team that has struggled, and we look, the record coming in, to see that many fans was incredible. And I'm telling you, it made an impact. It made an impact on the guys. It made an impact on the coaches. It made an impact on Hugh Freeze, John Cohen. They were all turning around looking. It had an impact. And hey, when you start talking about not only this team, but recruiting, everything that happened today has an impact on the 2025 class, the 26 class, because people pay attention. And I thought that was as much a part of this as anything was the crowd. Auburn made plays, got to win.
Yeah, I mean, you take those opportunities at this point. Auburn felt this was one that was in front of them. They felt they weren't really overmatched in this game, had an opportunity to win some matchups here and there, and they did exactly that. Good performance for the offensive line. Jarquez Hunter, this is, and look, we'll close out with this. I mean, Jarquez is a guy that, I was talking about with our buddy Justin Ferguson, but think about what Jarquez has done. He hung around. He's the only guy from his class. 3-star recruit. I believe he was kind of a later take in that class. A guy who now turns in one of the most prolific performances in program history and will go down as one of the more prolific running backs in program history.
Absolutely. It was, like I said, everything about tonight was fitting for this season, for this team, for some of those older guys. And
sure.
I mean, look, you think about Jeremiah Wright, Jarquez, some of those guys that were instrumental in this. Braden Joyner stepping up and playing a great game at guard. And then defensively, you look at guys making plays, and there was a lot of young guys making plays. So, hey, big win. You didn't beat the number one team in the country tonight, but you did what you had to do, and that was come to Kentucky, put together 60 minutes. It wasn't 60 minutes, but it was the most important 52 minutes of the game, and that was the end.
We are going to close things out. I just looked at my phone. It is almost midnight Eastern time, and we haven't even gone back up to the press box yet. So plenty still to come from Auburn's 24-10 win. Please do us a favor, go over to auburnundercover.com and check us out. I am Nathan King for Jason Caldwell. We'll talk to y'all later.